We could say do better to Laura Loomer, but it's not going to happen, and we need to accept that. She is loud, brash, ignorant. James, Harris, Willis are, quote, ghetto Black women, end quote. On a Rumble show, Loomer Unleashed, conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer interviewed white nationalist Peter Brimelow, whose organization, VDARE, is currently being investigated by New York Attorney General Letitia James. During their conversation, Loomer went on a wildly racist tirade in which she called Letitia James, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis, ghetto Black women. Aren't you clever? Why do you think they came under fire from Letitia James? Loomer asked Brimelow. Do you think it's because you were talking about white replacement theory and you're exposing the invasion and your publication is one of the only honest publications about what's truly happening with this invasion? Take your temperature, maybe. AngryWhiteMen.org. Some of the reporting here. White replacement theory refers to a white supremacist conspiracy theory, which posts that there is a plot to replace white people in Western countries, such as the United States, with immigrants of color. They're coming for you. Your job, your property, your daughters. I added that. VDARE has repeatedly pushed this conspiracy theory over the years. Loomer went on to say that Letitia James, who also filed a civil suit against former President Donald Trump and his Trump org, obviously hates white people. Now, look here, and it's not obvious. I don't even know that you should say someone, or unless you're in their head and heart, hate someone. Dislike, maybe. Okay, dislike. And not all people, just the ones perhaps that are stealing from New Yorkers. That's my take on it. I don't know. Ask Letitia James, but I don't think you could just put this on her. There you are again.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
And she attacked James as well as other Black public figures in crudely racist terms. Loomer declared that there's a commonality between Letitia James, Kamala Harris, and Fani Willis, which is that they're ghetto Black women and trap queens who attended Howard University, a prestigious HBCU. I don't think it's a coincidence, right? That these DAs, vice president, and the attorney general, they have no sense of ethics, she said. Well, what do you know about a trap queen? But what do you... TI has a trap museum here in this city. I'm in Atlanta, okay? And there's a rich history there. And I don't think you know anything about it. I don't think you studied it at all. I think you're using buzzwords to try to hurt people and be racist, which you do rather enjoy. That's that's just not speculation. Clearly you enjoy this. You've been at it a long time. It's profitable. I'll go on. Peter Brimelow appeared to agree and complained that it's not possible to run a first world justice system with third world people. I mean, the culture of the third world is so different than the first world, he told Loomer.
My God.
This is really, okay. Now, I did not eat lunch. I've learned because some of the content we had to turn over to you, I need to wait or else it's not going to stay down. Okay? This is what she says. I'll go on. It's not just Blacks, although I think you're right. And we've written about this a lot on VDARE.com. There's a lot of angry Black women out there in positions of authority. And there's a real question as to whether they can be trusted and whether they can be relied upon to behave fairly. The Blacks won't behave. They just won't behave. What are we going to do about this? According to the Southern Poverty Law Center now, Peter Brimelow's career as an anti-immigrant proponent spans 3 decades. He's been one of the leading voices in the movement since the mid-1990s. The former Forbes editor. Did you hear what I said? Folks, it's everywhere. The former Forbes editor. The National Review columnist founded VDARE in 1999, and the site soon became a haven for anti-immigrant and white nationalist commentators. Throughout the Trump era, Brimelow and VDARE have further cozied up to white nationalist fringe. This isn't the only time Loomer has targeted Black officials. Last month, she tweeted this. Look, is it just me? Or is there a certain demographic going after President Trump? Well, the demo I'm looking at is smart, accomplished people. And I love Judge Chutkan. I think she's marvelous. And Letitia James is unbothered as she continues her pursuit of justice. I don't know what else they have in common, except brilliance, battle-tested. However, Black MAGA pastor Dr. Daryl Scott, come on, Daryl, now you and I know each other. I wish you would knock it off. I really wish you'd knock it off. And don't tweet me later, Sharon, come on. Because I want you to knock it off. Daryl Scott, the pastor, MAGA supporter, replied with this. Oh, well, maybe you don't have to knock it off. It's just you. Daryl, call me. Go on and call me, Daryl. We'll talk. Okay? This is what happens when you don't read ahead, because I want to see and say together. Fran, what do you see here? And do we pay too much attention to this slugfest of two racists just slinging more and more?
You know, we have to pay attention because it's an election year. And what's incredible is that these are, if we thought that the first term of Donald Trump had a bunch of bigots and psychopaths and fascists in office, this is what's left. All those fools have been put in prison or are gone and written their books, like John Bolton. Some of them who've been put in prison, like Paul Manafort, coming back around. But you got the Laura Loomers and the Brimelows and these cretins that you've never even heard about out there who have fully discarded the dog whistle. I mean, we think that Donald Trump discards the dog whistle when he goes after Letitia James, goes after Fani Willis over and over again and says there's something wrong with them, this crime. And we know what he means. He talks about thugs. He's basically just saying they are Black, therefore they are criminals and awful and I don't know, keep going with it, right? Whatever racist thing. Trap queens, which is I guess what Laura Loomer's decided to say. They're ghetto and they're trap queens. Yeah. I mean, it's so offensive, so racist, and that's exactly what Trump and the MAGA movement stand for, because they cannot stand that Black women have achieved more than they ever will in multiple lifetimes, that they've managed to become DAs and prosecutors and attorney generals. Like, they got to where they got out of, with all of the things bearing down on them, all of just the structural racism, the structural sexism, all of the barriers to education, to a given a fair shot. And here they are, and they see them as now they're controlling us because they can't stand the idea of equality. Oh yeah, the entire justice system, just nothing but Black women. If only, it's not. It's mostly white guys. Check it out. I can't with this, Sharon. You step in, and then I'll pass the baton.
I've been rocking back and forth to this sermon you've been giving, and I've been beaming. I'm beaming. I don't even need to be here. Do you understand?
No, you do.
You have my proxy. You have my proxy, because I'm going to tell you something. Hit the nail on the head. Okay? You see, folks? Letitia James doesn't hate white people. I believe she'd love to go out to dinner with you, Fran, and I'd like to join you both.
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
paying? Okay, we'll figure that out later. But it's just such nonsense. But you're right. We must pay attention. You want our attention? You got it. Okay, November will be here soon. November will be here very soon. And we'll be waiting. Perhaps in a long line with no water, but we're not getting out of line. Okay? We're not going to do it.